Okay, so I think move on to the next lecture. So okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about resources for Rust pathogen surveillance. Some of this has already been covered. You'll have seen some of this, but some of it's additional information or reinforcement. So what I'll try and do is cover these different thematic areas: data collection, data management, information display, dissemination, added value, and then some emerging new themes around surveillance. So when we put together, the global Rust monitoring system, I mean, this was basically kind of the schema. So from the pathogen side, I mean, the field survey, the sampling is the foundation for everything. We put together a data management system, which we called the Rust Toolbox, working with colleagues at Denmark, the Global Rust Reference Center. We also have information around the host and susceptibility. So we've got the wheat atlas, we've also got wheat pedigree.net, so there's information resources there, but we need more on this area for sure. Then with the data management system, then we can connect that to GIS systems, to modeling systems, and there we can derive added value products from raw survey data. And then we have an information dissemination part. So we have a web portal we call Rust Tracker. We have country-specific information that's accessible within the toolbox. And then there are also other useful websites, which I'll talk about a bit later on, so people can get access to the information. So basically what we've been able to do the last few years, I mean, we're now looking at pretty much a fully operational disease monitoring system. So the surveillance monitoring, we're covering like 35, 40 countries. So we started, say 2008, basically from a zero base, and we've managed to build this up over time. And all of you here in this room, you're active participants in this network. So, you're contributing to all of this, which is great. So we've already gone through this, the options we have for survey, and we did a little bit in the field yesterday, GPS paper, but now increasingly options with electronic devices, tablets, smartphones, so those new things are there. This I showed you already, I think, about the surveillance network. So where we started when concerns about UG99 came up, to how we've progressed today to build up this network and get increased geographical coverage for surveillance. So now we're in a much better position, I think, in terms of being able to understand, monitor what's happening in farmers' fields across very large geographical areas. So the focus that kind of put all this together, the system, the tools, I mean, that was UG99, but we're now, with those investments, with the networks, we're now being able to apply this to other important pathotypes. So I'll talk a bit about ones for stem rust, but also increasingly for yellow rust, for other diseases as well. So South Asia, put in a bit more recent information. I mentioned the other day that back in 2010, certainly in terms of what was publicly available, then we weren't in a very good position. I mean, surveys were going on in individual countries, but it wasn't easy to get access to the information. And then moving things forward. So, basically, we're getting this sort of picture on an annual basis, and that is really, really useful in terms of picking up changes that are happening, sampling that's associated with those surveys. So yeah, space of 4 years, I think that's really significant progress. And the regional cooperation, the collaboration, it's all coming together. That's fantastic. So that kind of, you know, what we were talking about earlier in terms of the SARC forum, I think we've got sort of foundations there that can then be built upon and continued in the future.